Okay, we are here to get started with the arm modeling, and although the full body or the torso better, it's not perfect and fully defined, but I have a very good placement for it, and I may have to do some fine tuning when I'm connecting all the parts together. I want to start blocking the arm, but to do the blocking of the arm, I'm not going to extrude the part that comes from the shoulder just yet. And the reason for that is because I already have a lot of edges here. If I didn't count incorrectly, I have 16 edges already going around here. So if I extrude 16 edges, it might be giving me a little too much information that I think it'd be safe to try to start from a low count and then increase after I have more definition. So so I'm going to just simply go to my front view, and I'm going to follow my image, and I'm going to start by just maybe deleting those front faces there. I'm just doing the perspective view so that I can have cleaner thinking of that. And then I'm going to go, I'm going to create from that part, I'm going to overlap a cube. That part is very tiny at the bottom there. And I'm going to just place it in the middle there. I'm going to just scale it up. I'm kind of overlapping with that one there and keeping it as a square. Let me do the side views just for a moment. Placing it roughly where the arm is going to be. And roughly okay there. And I'm going to just do some extruding of it. So just extrusion of a few parts, one to give me right there to the elbow, or roughly by the elbow there, and then I'm going to extrude one more time, and one that gives me kind of like the height of the muscle there, and then another one right there to get to the wrist. So really not that heavy duty model. Just bring it down a little bit to place it on where the rest is going to be, and the rest of it is just pure manipulating of those vertices. So let me go to X-ray there. Maybe this one can go a little bit farther back, so the elbow will be somewhere there. I could actually benefit from a top view of the arm. I didn't do it, but that would be kind of interesting to have. This one I'm going to go back up here just to start getting a little bit more of that shape, and this one down there, and I'm going to bring this one down here sort of, and I know that I want my arm to pull back a little bit just so that I have a better chance for me to, when they rig it. I don't have a drawing for it, but I'll just try to get a little bit slightly bent there. And that's my initial blocking of it. Now, I start just by following my drawing so that I have a rough idea of what the arm needs to do, but it's really important to, again, as done before, look at reference and find what other arms are and how people make them. And I have some images that I've been looking at, trying to find, what other people have done for it. This one is a more masculine arm with more muscles. So kind of waves and goes in and out a little too much for what I need in my model. Some extrusion going on, and we're going to try to do a couple just to suggest some of it. This one is a model that shows the arm, and I really don't like the way the muscles are there. There is some diagonals that I feel a little inconsistent. Here's one of the hand. Let's talk about the hand a little bit later. There's this one that, let me see, I can just get closer on it, because this one has something very interesting. Actually, it works for me because my model of Sylvia has a kind of like a sort of softer appearance like this one, and this one has something very interesting, and it is that yes, he has a bunch of edges here, and he has the increased muscle to give me that bump of the forearm. But look how the geometry starts from the top and spins around to become the side of the hand. And I find that interesting. Actually, that's new to me. It's a new approach that somebody took, and I'm interested in looking at it and trying to see how that works. And the reason for that is because if I extend my arm right now, you can imagine me extending my arm on the side here, and if I have the palm facing the ground, just like what we see in the image there, you see that from the top to this part on my arm, if you look at your arm, you'll see how there is some sort of like a twist there. If you move your palm, rotate your wrist so that your palm is facing forward, you'll discover that this line goes and becomes up here. So this kind of makes sense. To me, it feels that the rotation here feels a little tight. I will try to creep it a little bit earlier, but I'm gonna try this, see how that goes. I had other ones actually. Let me just, before I do go on this one, show you a couple more. This one has the shoulder that I don't like because I don't have loops around the shoulder. So somebody did it, and that's good for them. But for me, it doesn't seem to work. I also find here a bunch of quads that are forced and pinching there, generating that triangle there that I'm not too happy about. And also, they had to smooth the geometry a lot to get rid of this end gun here and this end gun here. So that I'm not too convinced. This is a foot. This is another one that I found. I saved it just to show what not to do. This is a sausage shaped arm that feels pretty bad. I'm not happy about it. Although hopefully they were able to fix it. So I'm gonna stick with this one as my main reference, and with that I'll try to just go back to it a few times. It's not that much. Right now this one has actually the shoulder part there. I'm not going to model that part yet because actually that's going to happen when I blend the shoulder with the arm. So let me just move this onto the side here. And with that said, I'm going to go to the front view here, and I'm going to just grab this group of edges here, and I'll try to do that rotation on this direction, so that that front, if you look at it at the reference again, that top edge, let me get a little bit bigger here so you can see it bigger. That edge that is almost on the top sort of goes down to become the hand. So it's not a full 90-degree rotation, but certainly about 60 degrees. So I'll try to do some of that to see if I can get this one to rotate somewhere like here. We'll see how that works. And I'm going to now grab this and scale down a little bit like that and stay there. So I'm gonna just go back, and you see that my hand have rotated somehow in this direction, so that will make it interesting. I'll have to fine tune later on. So that's it for the first very basic blocking of the arm.